Hey everyone, let me just reset my video real quick because it looks like once again it lost video input, but now we have it back. So, hey there everyone. It's been I guess you can't really call it, I guess it'd be 2 days at this point, but it's been a couple days since we last streamed and we did Silent Hill and we had a lot of fun with that. We're getting ready to finally start up Fatal Frame again. Unfortunately, I didn't really get a chance to practice this next part, the mask puzzle. So we're just gonna. I read what I have to do, but ultimately it seems like we might end up having to fly by the seat of our pants a little bit. Well, to try to figure it out. I know more or less what I have to do. I'm just hoping I don't mess it up too badly. Giving my puppy here just a little bit of love before I put him in the chair over there so he can rest while I play this. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to doing Jet Set Radio Future on Wednesday the next week. For one thing, that'll be when my on-call at work is over. Oh shit! Don't get cut on that pup. So yeah, my on-call shift at work will be over then, and I can stop worrying that I'm gonna get a phone call telling me everything's on fire, and I can finally relax a little bit. Because for some reason, whenever I'm on call, things seem to go awry a little bit. But anyway. And there's also a couple other games I'm looking forward to playing, and I would totally stream them, but I just know that if I chose to stream them because they're new games, I probably wouldn't get very many people watching because I'm not popular. Like, hey. So yeah, like one thing I've learned about Twitch streaming, like obviously I'm not professional at this. I mean, I think I'm interesting and whatnot, but I don't have a ton of followers. So, like, somebody like Angry Joe or I can't think of a whole lot of other famous streamers. They can get away with streaming the newer games like Ghost of Tsushima and Super Paper Mario Origami King, because they have a dedicated fan base. And I'm not saying I don't like my fan base, because my fan base is awesome, especially because a lot of them are my friends and my family and stuff. But I just know that usually I have at least a few randos pop into my stream when I'm streaming these more obscure games. So I feel like for the time being I'm just kind of doomed to do that. I mean, I like these games. I especially like Jet Set Radio Future, and like I said, I can't wait to stream that game since it's one of my all-time favorites. Okay. Shit.
You're not streaming on Discord, by the way.
Oh yeah, I know. I hadn't started it yet. I forgot. So I guess I'm gonna have to deal with this ghost. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is the whole Twitch streaming thing seems kind of scary now. I mean, I know that I'm not really big enough for this to affect, but like a very famous streamer named Dr. Disrespect. Granted, he's one of those idiots that thinks that COVID-19 is caused by 5G cell towers, which is complete bupkis. But he got banned from Twitch, and like they haven't even bothered telling him why. Like, I would assume that if you're gonna ban someone or punish them... I just heard myself repeated. I'm not sure what's going on there. Oh, I'm hearing myself on Woody's computer. Can you turn me down a little bit there, Woody, or put on a headset? So I can hear myself. There we go. So, anyway, I was just thinking, if you're gonna punish someone for something, at least like tell them what they did wrong, so that they can either avoid it in the future. I mean, in his case, he's permabanned, so I guess I can't really expect them to do a whole lot. But it would be really nice just to kind of know why that happened. I mean, I know that, huh?
Yeah, I got a message from a alternate social media site that I was a member of for several months.
Uh-huh.
It's a alternate to Facebook. It's Free Zoxy, I think it was called. And actually got quite a few followers. And I just got a message from the administrator saying, "Oh, hey, we deleted your account." But they didn't tell me why. And I messaged him like, "Well, why is my account deleted?" Never got an answer.
Maybe you got hacked.
Maybe, because I didn't do anything.
There we go. Let's look at the map. I'm trying to remember where there's a door that I went through to get to that mask room. But yeah, it's really strange, and like I would feel like he seems pretty genuine in not knowing what he did. So I don't know. I would just really like to know what it is he did, because I've heard a lot of things that kind of worry me. Like they say that if you get a DMCA violation, meaning like you're using copyrighted music and stuff in your stream, you can get permanently banned, which seems kind of stupid. It's mainly just because of the fact that like some games you play, either the game has a soundtrack to it and those DMC bots can easily pick that up, or hell, like if you're playing a rhythm game, like Project Diva or something, like you can't play it with the music on because you'll get a strike for that, and that just seems really silly.
Guitar Hero, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost afraid of playing Jet Set Radio Future, because that has a lot of music in it. But I mean, it's just kind of one of those things where, like, there are people out there, like lawyers and stuff, who will let me see, is this which mask is this? Okay, that is not that one. But anyway, like, there are lawyers who have literally said things like, if a ringtone plays on your phone, that everyone who heard the little snippet of music should have to have paid to hear it. And that sort of thing just drives me freaking nuts, because I mean, that just feels like, no end, like greed with no end to it. Now, Richard.
I'm gonna get in trouble. Never mind.
I was going to say, let's not be anti-Semitic here. I mean,
oh no!
It's all these damn lawyers and stuff. Let me see. So if
I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
So if I take this mask, so we'll just take this. So I think I gotta take that, and then I can go through this door. So I'll go through and I'll take the mask. Actually, I don't know that that's gonna work, because now when I take this, the plaque on the other side isn't gonna be there anymore. I hate this.
Hey, Dad, there's a ghost in the house. Oh, shit.
That's funny. So, I'm kind of over the whole trying to... I'm over the whole trying to appear like I'm, like, super professional gamer. So, let's... I'm gonna get a little bit of help with this, because if I don't, we're just gonna be wandering around like an idiot for the better part of, 4 hours, and I would rather not do that. So let's see if we can just look up a quick guide to this puzzle so that I can do it. We can get through this, and we can move on to, taking pictures of ghosts so that they can go live in hell with Bill Cosby. Oh wait, he's not dead yet, but he will be soon. And that's where he'll be. So let's see. Mask puzzle.
Because he made the movie Ghost Dad.
Well, I mean that, and because he's a piece of shit, but that's another story. So let's see. Puzzle. This is probably the most intricate puzzle in Fatal Frame, but it's fairly easy to solve. Once you get the angry mask from the doll box, take it to the entrance. Put it on the right wall. As soon as you go through, take the mask. Go down the hallway. As soon as you hit the fork, take the first left. Go to the end of the hall, pick up the joyous mask. Go back to the fork and go straight instead of left. Go to the door with the sad mask. Go through, and as soon as you go through, take the sad mask. Okay, so we'll start with that. And the thing that makes this puzzle really suck. It's a neat puzzle for sure. But the part of this puzzle that just, takes the piss out of me. Wait, where am I? Did I go through? No? Did I? Mask room. Where are you, mask room? Okay, I went over here. There's the lamp hallway. But in any case, while I'm trying to figure this out, the annoying bit of this puzzle is just the fact that, oh, you know what? I feel like I probably did go through the door. Is that the ghosts respawn at various intervals, and obviously, I don't have infinite camera film. In the second Fatal Frame game, you do have, like your lowest level film, you have an infinite supply of. So you never have to worry about running out. But obviously here, if I run out, I'm kind of screwed. Because those ghosts ain't going to stop coming, and they don't stop coming, then I'll head to the roof and hit the ground running. No, haha, I'm just kidding. Stupid Smash Mouth music.
Call Bill Murray and Danny Aykroyd. They'll take care of it for you.
Yeah, I mean, if we could have photon packs in this game, even though I think this camera is probably better than friggin' photon packs. Could you imagine, like, just going up to Gozer and just taking a picture of him with this camera, and then he's just fucking dead, and then you just take him to Walgreens and develop his picture? All right, so now we've got.
Actually, I think that's how the villain in Ghostbusters 2 was trapped in the painting.
Well, I mean, yeah, maybe it's just a brush that does the same thing as the camera. All right, so it says go through, and as soon as you do, take the sad mask, which I have. Go up to the pillar and place the 3 masks on the pillar. A door will unlock, but ignore that for now. Attempt to take the happy mask. Watch the scene and kill the blinded that comes. Okay, so let's go put. I mean, I already picked up the happy mask, so hopefully this will still work. So there's that. Place the sad mask here. And the thing I don't like about puzzles like these, so like some puzzles are at least they give you some kind of clue as to what you're supposed to be doing. But this one, like, it's just kind of obtuse. I mean, yeah, I know that I need to put all the masks up there, I guess, but I don't know. It just seems like it would have been kind of rough. So let's see. After she's dead, take the happy mask, put it on the wall down the hall from where you came in. You'll be in the square garden. Leave the mask there and go solve the gold pentagram seal puzzle. Go in the room and get the mask of reflection. I think I already got that, actually. Can I look at my key items? Okay, these are not my key items. These are all just my usables. My fine usables. Scraps, photos. Maybe I don't have it. It's just that none of these things, I think. Well, maybe. All right, whatever. I guess we'll just go out to the garden and see if I solve that puzzle that gives me the mask of reflection yet. I thought I had it, but maybe not. honestly, when we reach this point in video games, like with graphics this quality, like I feel like we haven't really made any really major strides since this time. Because like these graphics already look really awesome. I mean, yeah, I think that all we've really done is just made incremental upgrades as far as like improving on textures and the amount of things we have on screen, maybe having, better models. Because we can have more polys on the screen at the same time. But otherwise, like, I feel like back in this time, like, games were already pretty damn intense, and like the experiences we get nowadays just aren't as much of a quantum leap as they were. Oh shit! As much of a quantum leap as they were back in these days. Like when you went from, like, especially when you went from the 16-bit era to the PlayStation era, things just like changed so massively. And then when you got to like the Dreamcast era, PS2 era, that was a pretty drastic leap too. Like you went from having these really limited garage shaded polygon graphics and very limited amount of like characters on screen and environments and stuff to just having stuff that almost looked real.
Totally.
Yeah. Like when the Xbox One came out, I just kind of looked at it and said, okay, so, I mean, a lot of games on here I want to play, obviously, and that's what's going to always be the most important is, the games I can play. But also, like the graphics, like all I noticed was like, oh, look at that. Like it seems as if I can absolutely have more stuff on the screen. Like the first game I played on the Xbox One was what was it? Dead Rising 3. And in Dead Rising 3, like the graphics didn't look that much better than Dead Rising 2, but man, there were a fucking ton of zombies on the screen. So that was kind of cool.
Comment from Sansama123, which I believe is Woody.
Yes.
Little frame in Mexico. You gotta take a pic of the Mexican ice cream man.
Huh? Mexican. Aye. So at some point in this stream, Richard, like I promised a little while ago, I will give you like 15 minutes to talk about whatever you want, as long as it's appropriate.
Well, now I have to come up with something to talk about that's actually appropriate.
I mean, you could talk about your new gun, your drilling.
I already did that.
I know, but not on stream.
Really?
Well, I mean, guess you did kinda.
Yeah.
So one of the things we were going to do tonight, and I'm sure that you probably have some of these, Richard, because you've always got interesting stories. So kind of as a repeat of last time, we had started sharing ghost stories because of the fact that we're playing such a spoopy game. Of course, it doesn't really seem that spoopy right now because I'm trying to figure out where the hell to find this thing that I just took a picture of. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna do some. Oh, maybe I gotta go through here. But we're gonna tell some ghost stories. So if you're in chat, just either type your ghost story, or if you're inclined, I can invite you to the Discord and you can share your story with us vocally if you want. Now I'm sure, Richard, that you, huh?
I was going to say I can tell the story of how I exercised the house.
Did you eat chili and then fart it out?
No.
Because I think I've scared away a lot of ghosts.
Before.
So anyway, yeah, go ahead. Do tell.
Well, hold on. I've got to go to the bathroom first.
All right, go exorcise those demons, and then you can tell us how you exorcised those other demons. So it looks like I've got like a full run of this place. I just got to figure out where that picture is that I just saw, so that I can go and Okay, it wasn't that. It's under file, photos, mask on a pillar, hidden passage door photo. Okay, no, that's not what I need. Oh, look, I'm an idiot. So there's my answer as far as like, you know, how I was calling the puzzle obtuse. I just forgot that we had actually done some things last time that I didn't see. Some stone monument. It sure is. So I really feel like that's outside somewhere. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is because I can see green out there. So let's start by going outside. So if I go through this door, I can go through the door directly across and then through that other door. So let's try that. Hey, I'm just curious. Angela, are you with us? Mute the Twitch stream. Oh yeah, so I'm like 3 or 4 people away from being affiliate. And Alex, what are you?
Testing.
Oh, hey there, Woody, you're back. Alex, what were you saying about mute? Oh, I see what you're saying. The mute the Twitch stream and oh fuck. Sorry, there's a ghost. I need to probably just ignore it if I can. Even though it's just gonna follow me through the damn wall, because you know that's what ghosts do. Oh,
Ghost that sells paletas.
You can't touch me while I'm going through a door. That's bullshit. Oh god, the surround sound in these headphones actually works really well.
Oh my god, I hate that room. That room creeped me out in Fatal Frame.
Where the fuck are you? Oh, fuck you, Grandpa. I'm gonna replace your heart medicine with fucking dick pills. Come on.
¿Quieres paletas?
Come on. There. Eat shit. I'm gonna put pictures of you up on TikTok and everyone's gonna like draw dicks on your floor. Oh shit! Alright, well, I mean, it seems like I have a decent amount of film. I just know that I don't have a lot of health items, so I might just take it easy here and just be a little more, not conservative, but a little, like, not go for the zero shots so much. So anyway, I'm just curious. Actually, let's take a look and see who all's here, since I've probably got a little while until the ghosts come back. So yeah, we got Angela in here. We got Candid Camsey, my partner in crime, and we got Angela. We got my friend Nadia, Alex, Woody, and of course Richard, who is currently probably taking a shit or something. So yeah, so Woody, why don't you, if you're on Discord, why don't you go ahead and tell us one of your ghost stories now before Richard comes back, so we can hear how he exercised his house.
Okay.
Well, I'm already back.
Oh well, Woody.
And Woody has working Discord.
Yeah, he sure
He was
does.
saying in chat that it didn't work before.
Yeah, we figured it out.
Woody.
I had to mute the Twitch stream for it to work.
All right, so go ahead, Woody. Tell us your story, and then we'll go on to Richard's.
Okay. When I was living in our old house with my family in Timberwood Park, we lived on the bottom of a hill. We lived in a one-story house, and I was still in high school, I think. Yeah, it was when I was still in high school. I think I was a freshman, and when I was waiting for the bus outside with my mom, we were on the little road that goes into the house, or whatever. It goes towards the garage, whatever you call that little road. And I was waiting there with my mom, and it was foggy. It was a foggy morning, but like not like real foggy, but like a little misty where you could still see.
Uh-huh.
and I was looking at the top of the hill, and I see this really bright white figure on the top of the hill, and it was waving its body back and forth. And at first I thought I was seeing things, and I told my mom, "Hey mom, do you see what I see?"
A ghost. No.
And my mom was like, "Yeah, I see what you're looking at. What the heck is that?" So we kept looking at it, and this thing was bright, like it was making its own light, and it had really long hair, and it looked like it was wearing a white dress. But the creepy thing about this thing that we were looking at, it was hovering in the air, and I kept telling my mom, "Hey mom, I should go back inside the house and get my camera, see if I can take a picture of it." And my mom was like, no, don't go back in the house. What if it disappears when you get back? And I was like, you make a good point. So we kept watching it, and we see it raise one of its arms, and it was pointing at me and my mom. It kept pointing at me and my mom, and me and my mom were kind of creeped out. And then all of a sudden, it did the weirdest thing. It disappeared from one side to the other side, and then we see this thing flying through the woods really, really fast. And then it kept getting brighter and brighter until it disappeared. We didn't see it. And that is my story.
I thought it was gonna have a twist, like most of your things do. Like you're gonna say that like it came back and it was like driving an ice cream truck with like raspas and stuff, with like horchata. Another thing that
That's racist.
Another thing that Richard and I went through together, and like this is a story I told last time, and I really wished I had Richard to. Whoa, shit! This guy again, Nathan Explosion. But the thing that Richard and I experienced together, and he can actually support this story. Like, you remember the time when we decided to go over to that place over there in Universal City by the Forum called Bright Road? And we were driving in Jenny's RAV4, and you saw the deer, and you jumped out of the car and ran after it with your knife.
Yep, because I thought it would be funny.
Yeah, and then you came back to the car, and remember, like the car just stopped dead after that black dog ran through the road.
All right, let me tell you what I experienced from it. So I jump out, I chase after the deer. Deer runs off. Obviously, there's no way I'm ever going to catch it. And I hear you laugh and drive off without me. I'm like, this motherfucker. And you go up the hill, stop, the lights turn off. All the lights on the car just off. And then you slowly roll backwards down the hill and stop right where I'm standing. I get back in the car, and you didn't even touch the ignition or anything yet. You were still trying to figure out what was going on, and everything came back on as soon as I got in the car.
Yeah.
I never saw the black dog, but you said, dude, what the hell? And you told me the whole thing from your perspective. And I was like, well, clearly the ghost didn't think what you were doing was funny.
Well, that and the other crazy thing about that was that just before that, we had gone over to the to look at the San Antonio State Hospital from the road, thinking that we're gonna go in there, but that was stupid. Mm-hmm. And just before that, you had told me the thing about if a black dog crosses in front of you, something bad can happen.
Or it's at least a warning of something.
Yeah, and I remember that there was another night that you and I were driving. I think we were going, and we were going from 35 to 410 South, and something similar happened. Like there was a black dog that went in the road, but nothing creepy happened that time. It was just weird that you said the thing about the black dog, and then there it was.
Well, see, that was the funny part. because, I mean, not even a whole minute after I tell you the whole legend of the black dog and everything, we're just get on the on ramp, get onto the highway, and this huge black dog runs right in front of us. And you slammed on your brakes to avoid hitting it, and it's not there. There's nowhere that it could have gone except jumping over the side of the overpass. And we're just looking around, and we're confused as hell for a second, and then you roll the window down, stick your head out, and yell, "Fuck you, omens!" Roll the window back up and floor it. That was funny as hell, dude. Just, "Fuck you, omens!"
God, there's oh shit!
All right. So anyway, tell your story about the exorcism. I've clearly forgotten this story. So remind me.
All right. This is a story that I made up years and years ago. It never happened for obvious reasons, but it's still very popular. I see it show up on different forums, 4chan, just all kinds of places. Trying to get the basics off the top of my head. The setting is, it's back when I'm still a teenager, and it all started when we moved into this new house. And we got a really good deal on this house. I mean, it was super cheap for a 2-story house, really big, really nice, good neighborhood. And it was just ridiculously cheap, but we couldn't find anything wrong with it, so we're like, yeah, you know what? This is a good deal, let's buy this house. And we're living there. It's me, my parents, my sisters. And everything's okay for the first week or so. And then weird things started happening at night. We would hear odd noises upstairs, like it would sound like someone's walking around on the floorboards, and you'd hear them creak. Or the dog would suddenly get nervous and stare at random places, like there was something there, but nobody else could see anything. And there were just constantly these puddles of water that kept showing up in the upstairs bathroom. And you just go into the bathroom at night, and there's a puddle of water on the floor. Could never find, like, there wasn't ever a leak from the sink or the tub or anything. It's just water kept appearing there for no reason, and only at night. And the weird things kept happening with increasing regularity. Like, the puddles were getting bigger, the noises were louder and more frequent. The dog got to a point where it refused to go upstairs with us at night. And, you know, he would usually sleep on the floor next to the bed, but he absolutely refused to go upstairs after a certain point. And we started seeing things like shadows would walk past the doorway or just out of the corner of your eye. And at night, we'd hear what sounded like voices in the hallway. And this went on for a while. It started getting really creepy. And then she appeared. We started seeing this ghost in the house, only upstairs, and it was really weird. It's this transparent girl, about the same age as me at the time, about 16, 17, and she was naked and soaking wet. And wherever she was, she'd leave puddles of water, and just like the big puddle of water in the upstairs bathroom that would just appear. And we started, she never said anything, never did anything, she'd just stand there staring at you. And my sister ran out of the house screaming more than once when this thing showed up. And we eventually figured out she would only appear if you were alone. So my parents didn't see her for a while because, they share a room. And both my sisters shared a room together. So that meant I was basically the first one to see her and the one that saw her the most. But eventually everybody saw her, but only when you were alone and only at night. And she never did anything, but you tried going to sleep with some transparent girl standing next to you just staring at you all night. I mean, it was creepy as hell. So we started doing some research. We asked the neighbors, we looked up records at the courthouse, all kinds of things. And as near as we could tell, the original owners of the house, which was built in the 80s, had a daughter who slipped in the tub upstairs and drowned. They moved away a week after the funeral, and the house went through a series of owners. None of them lasted more than a year. Until it finally just stood empty for like 6 years prior to us moving in. Which, should have been a warning sign. Why are people moving out of this house so quickly? Really should have looked into that before moving in. So we decided that, we're not moving out, so Ghost Girl has to go. So we called a priest to exorcise the place, and he didn't really believe our story about it being haunted, but he did the exorcism anyway. And no luck. She was still there. So then we got desperate and hired some psychic out of the phone book, back when phone books were still a thing. And she kept talking in a fake little girl voice and then a bad pirate voice. And
a pirate voice?
Just demanded money. Yeah. She kept pretending to do different characters during the seance. And she was bad at it. So, we told her to get the fuck out. But everything we tried to get rid of this ghost failed. So, eventually, we just gave up trying to get rid of her and decided to just stick it out. She only appeared at night and only if you were alone, so we would find ways around it. Like, my sisters shared a room, or they would go sleep at a friend's house, etc. But basically, if I was at home and not staying over with a friend, I was the one that got stuck with the ghost. But, after a while, you can get used to anything. You got used to the weird noises, the puddles. She was still pretty freaking creepy the way she just stood there staring at you with a sad look, but you could live with it, So, one night, everybody else is out of the house. Well, I think my parents were off doing some events, and both my sisters were hanging out with friends. So I was home by myself watching TV. And there wasn't anything on, and it was really hard to concentrate with her just standing there dripping water all over the floor and staring at me. And then I got to thinking, if you ignore the fact that you can see through her, she's pretty hot.
Oh no, I think I know where this is going.
About the same age as me, and
oh god.
Well, not like either of us have anything better to do, so
oh god.
Bitch left and never appeared again. Funnels never came back, no weird noises, nothing. She didn't even let me finish. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I exercised my house.
I mean, I've always jokingly told myself if there was ever a ghost in my house, I would probably just maintain eye contact with it and just walk towards it while angrily masturbating. And just be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh God, why are you taking your pants off? You're supposed to be scared.
I'm making some ectoplasm. That's not how it works.
You start going dee 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 dee. It's like, don't cross the streams, don't cross the streams. It's like, oh, I'm crossing the streams.
I'm crossing the streams.
Clearly there's a ghost after me. I just don't see him. I need to get out in the open so I don't piss it off. Come on. Where are you?
It's the paleta man.
What is? Remind me what paleta is again.
Popsicles.
So he's a ghost that sells popsicles?
Yes.
Oh, hi. I see. Oh, god damn it, it's Nathan Explosion again. When am I gonna get to finally see Murderface? He's my favorite. Yeah, that's what shit tastes like.
It's a floating head.
Now, Woody, you talking about this ghost and people in the comments talking about how it was an owl.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the Hopkinsville Goblins?
I don't think I ever heard that story before.
Let me look it up real quick.
So, Michael, what about you? You have any ghost stories?
Oh, I told them all last time.
I have more if people want to listen to more.
Well, yeah, go for it. I mean, if you
Well,
think about it,
that's
like, you guys telling ghost stories makes it so I don't have to think of things to talk about.
Yeah.
It's like I get, like, anti-dead air insurance for nothing.
Well, Woody, I've got that story drawn up.
Let's hear this story.
All right. I'm just going off the Wikipedia article and not a actual story version. But on the evening of August 21st, 1955, Pepperidge Farm remembers, 5 adults and 7 children arrived at the Hopkinsville police station, claiming that small alien creatures from a spaceship were attacking their farmhouse and had been holding them off with gunfire for nearly 4 hours. 2 of the adults, Omer Sutton and Billy Ray Taylor, claimed they had been shooting at 12 to 15 short, dark figures who repeatedly popped up at the doorway or peered into the windows. And concerned about a possible gun battle between local citizens, 4 city police, 5 state troopers, 3 deputy sheriffs, and 4 military police from the nearby U.S. Army Fort Campbell, because, you know, the military just gets involved in all kinds of things for no reason, drove to the Sutton farmhouse, located near the town of Kelly in Christian County. Their research yielded nothing apart from evidence of gunfire and holes in window and door frames made by firearms. The next day, neighbors told 2 officers that the families had packed up and left after claiming the creatures had returned about 3:30 in the morning. Let's see. The article doesn't describe the actual attack, but people will note that the family could have misidentified great horned owls, which are nocturnal, fly silently, have yellow eyes, and aggressively defend their nest. According to Nickel, meteor sightings also occurred at the time. You know, bright lights in the sky. They could explain Billy Ray Tyler's claim that he saw a bright light streak across the sky and disappear behind the tree line some distance from the house. But let's see. The creatures resembled goblins who were dressed in white clothing and glowed. They floated through the air, had large eyes, and whenever they fired guns at them, the sound of bullets striking them resembled bullets striking a metal bucket. There was an odd luminous patch along the fence where one of the beings had been shot, and in the woods beyond, the green light whose source could not be determined. You know, kind of like Predator with the glow-in-the-dark blood.
Yeah. Oh wow.
50s. So Predator wasn't a thing back then.
But owls were a thing.
Oh yes. Some ufologists compared the alleged creatures to gremlins, which have since often been referred to as the Hopkinsville goblins.
Goblins outside. Oh shit.
Hey, Peter! Some guy named Glenn Glorblin is outside for you. Don't let him in. Oh, I did. He's flying around the living room, throwing grenades everywhere. God damn it, Grandma. Why'd you do that? I love you, Peter. I love you too, Aunt May.
Well, I'll tell my story. True story. When it was October, me and my friends, we like to go ghost hunting, but a lot of my friends live close to the Devil's Backbone. So one night we wanted to go to a small little creepy cemetery that's close to the Devil's Backbone, and the story is when the gate is open, you're allowed in, but if the gate is closed, it's protected by the Raggedy Man, and it's this really tall, creepy shadow that wears like one of those old style Undertaker hats, and he wears raggedy looking clothes, and he protects that small cemetery, and he doesn't like it when people try to go inside the cemetery when the gate is closed. When it's open, he doesn't care. But one night, me and my friends decided to go over there, and we were in my friend's van, and we pulled up right next to the gate, and the gate was closed. So nobody wanted to get out of the van, but I had my camera, and I was the only one that got out of the van. And I went up to the gate, but I didn't open it. I just laid my arm on the gate, and then I took a picture of this tree that was kind of like split in half, and there was a tombstone under it. So I took a picture between the trees, and then I went back into the van. And then me and my friends were looking through my pictures, and we came across that picture that I took, the one between the trees. And I swear, when I took this picture, there was nothing there. There was no car coming down the road. There was no animal, and there was nothing reflecting light. And then when we saw this picture, I could see these creepy red eyes looking back at me, and it was the creepiest thing I ever seen. And then right after we saw that picture, we heard tapping on the side of the van, like somebody was just tapping their finger on the van. And all of us freaked out. We all froze, and we were all looking at each other. We were like, is anybody tapping on the door? And everybody raised their hands and were like, nah, none of us are tapping the van. And we could still hear the tapping, and then all of a sudden we hear what sounded like nails being dragged against the van, and it made all its way behind the van. And when I turned around to see what was making that noise, I could see the creepy red eyes looking at us through the van, and it was making its way around to where I was. And that's when I told my friend, nah, dude, you need to like floor it. Let's get out of here. So we drove out of that freaking cemetery as fast as we could.
Oh man, that's super creepy. I actually have a similar story to that I had forgotten about. So when I first came here to Texas and met my ex, we used to like going around on drives at night just so that she could show me around and show me some of the creepy shit around. Like there's, God, I can't remember exactly where it was. It was in Universal City, and it was right around where she lived. And there was just this, like, it was like a normal neighborhood, but then there was just, I guess, a road to, it was like a wooded road, and it was dirt, and I guess that they had just cleared some of the trees out and stuff because they were going to build houses down there eventually. So we all start driving down this dirt road. It's only a one-way road. And we're in her RAV4, which is kind of like a four-wheel drive SUV type thing. I mean, I don't know that I'd really call it an SUV. But in any case, we get down there. The first night we go down there, and it's just kind of creepy because there's just this, I guess it's kind of like almost like a dirt, I mean, it's another dirt road, but I'm trying to think of how one would describe it. It looks like a place where people would probably ride dirt bikes or something. And you could see evidence that kids had been down there riding dirt bikes during the day, I imagine. But it was just like woods or tall grass on all sides. Stupid ghost. So, I mean, first time we got down there, we just kind of got scared and we went back because, it was just her and I, and we were worried we were going to get the car stuck down there. So the next day, we came back and checked it out during the day just to kind of, scope it out and see if we'd be able to drive down there. So very next night, we went, or that same day at night, we invited her friend. God, I can't remember what her friend's name was anymore, but she lived with us for a while. But in any case, that night we went back down there in the dark because, we're dumb, 20-somethings, and we think that this is fun and not at all dangerous. So we go down there, and we're just driving around the dirt path and whatnot, and there was this area where I guess a lot of, like, trees and stuff that they had knocked down were kind of stacked up. And it's kind of obscured from like seeing it from the rest of the road. And we pull around there, and once again, let me remind you, this is like a little tiny one-way road. We get over there, and we see all of these people standing around a bonfire down there. And like there's not really anything creepy about them. It was just the way that they all turned and looked at us, and like we just like freaked the fuck out and started driving backwards to get out of that fucking place. I mean,
wow.
It's not a ghost story by any means, because I mean, honestly, humans can be scarier than ghosts, but in that case, it was just we stumbled upon something that we probably weren't supposed to. Like, I doubt that there was anything insidious. It was probably just a bunch of people, drinking or something, but it just scared the shit out of us because we were down there and we didn't expect to see other people.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it! I had another one too. But I can't really remember it right now.
I have another one, and it's this one's a true story also. Me and my friends, we went back to that small cemetery, but this time we went during the daytime. And the gate was open this time, so me and my friends went inside the cemetery, and we were looking at the graves, and some of the graves are pretty creepy because some of them don't have names, and all of a sudden I turn around and I see this white figure like duck behind a tree. Like it went behind the tree super fast, and it was like a big white figure, and it looked like a person. So me and my friend, we both saw this figure, and we were like, okay. We went to go check out the tree, and we were looking behind it to see if anybody was there, and there was nobody there. And then my friend was like, look at the top of the tree, see if they climbed the tree. And we looked up. Me and her both looked up, and we didn't see anybody. There was nobody there. And the weird thing was, we didn't hear anybody run, and we didn't hear anybody walking. Like we didn't hear the crunch of the leaves, like somebody walking. We didn't hear anybody, and we were wondering where this white figure went, and we did not see it. It like disappeared.
Wow. That reminds me of a time I was at Walmart, and it was this really spooky Walmart, like in the middle of driving to Houston, and I was just walking down an aisle, and all of a sudden I saw a green figure, and then I realized it was a Ninja Turtle.
You get us pizza, Michael?
Thanks, I'll be here all week. Tip your waitress. No, one of the other stories I have is a really short one. I mean, it's just one of those, stories that's the literary equivalent of, and then a skeleton popped out, boo. Like, first time I came down to Texas and I was staying at my girlfriend's house, I had to sleep on the couch because her mom obviously didn't want me sleeping in the same bed as her daughter, which, that's fair. So I slept on the couch. And it could just be that, I was having one of those waking dreams, because a lot of the experiences I've had that were paranormal, with the exception of, like, the black dog, were, they were all, like, things that happened, like, just as I was waking up. So, in this case, that's probably all it was, if I had to guess. So, in any case, I was laying on the couch, and I just remember, like, feel like, you get that feeling when, like, you feel like you're being watched or someone's looking at you. So, I just had this really strange feeling that I wasn't alone, so I looked up expecting to see, like, my girlfriend or her mom, like, maybe getting up to have a snack or something. So I sat up and I looked over the couch, and there was this man standing there, who he looked like he was wearing like a red and black plaid shirt, and as soon as I popped up over the couch, he just yelled at me and said, "What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. Get out." So I just jumped up off the couch and went skittering across the floor for the front door, and then I turned around and he wasn't there. So I just kind of, like I said, I assumed that was probably just a waking nightmare or something, because unfortunately, and you can ask my wife this, I have those sometimes. Like, I think there's been, like, cases where, like, I was having a dream that she was trying to inject me with some sort of, like, syringe or something, and, like, I actually grabbed her arm, and I was holding it, and, like, begging her not to inject me. And then when I kind of, woke up a little bit and realized what I was doing, I felt like an idiot.
Of the mirror.
Kind of creepy.
Yeah, sleep paralysis causes all kinds of hallucinations too.
Yeah, I hate that shit. I mean, and I feel like one of my most common nightmares I have is like having a nightmare where I wake up and I think I'm in someone else's house. I don't know if you guys have ever had a dream like that before, but oh wow, I can't hurt her.
No, but my recurring, not sure I would say nightmare, but stressful dream is I'll be in college and it's finals week.
And you haven't studied, or you haven't been in the class for the whole semester?
No, I realized that there's a class that I haven't even been attending this whole semester.
Oh yeah. I have that dream a lot too, or somehow I dream that, like, my like UTSA sends me a letter and says that they're taking my degree away because they determined that I hadn't taken a class, and if I want my diploma back, and thus my job that I have to go back and take that class, and it's usually something stupid like, you know, how to make toilet paper or how to cook eggs or, you know, modern art history or something. Just that's not really something I enjoy. Or it's one of those things you have to do like history.
Yeah, or it's something just completely insane that you have no chance of doing, like quantum physics, and you don't get a chance to study any of the prerequisites. You're going straight to the final.
Yep, that's when you just hope that it's a multiple choice question and the teacher has made it obvious which answers are the wrong ones. Like one of the, I feel like a lot of the nightmares that I end up having generally end up being like really mundane, stupid ones, especially if I'm sick. Like I've found that whenever I have a fever, one of the things that sucks the most about having the fever for me is I end up having these dreams. I refer to them as problem-solving dreams, where there's essentially a problem that once you're awake and you think about it, you realize that the problem is pretty much like it has no solution, like it's impossible. And basically like that problem-solving dream, no matter how many times I wake up, realize what a stupid problem it is and realize that there's no solution to it, you know, I go back to sleep and it happens again and again and again, and then I can't sleep because it's just like my brain is just in overdrive trying to solve this problem that has no solution. Uh-oh. Oh, fuck, there's a ghost here. Oh, God, there's multiple ghosts. Holy shit. You're not supposed to be able to do that. Fucking cheater ghost. Well, at least they seem to be dying pretty fast. Alright, fuck this.
Ghost parade.
Yeah, I honestly didn't think that that this Fatal Frame actually had the ability to do like multiple ghosts like that. I thought it was only in Fatal Frame 2 that they started doing that. Hopefully that's all of them, because I know that there was one, like... Damn it, I was gonna say, I knew there was one fucking lunging for me. Or is that two of them? Good God, get off of me! This is what it's like being on call. Like, you guys got all these, like, assholes, like, trying to get your attention at the same time. Alright, come on, bitch. Come at me. Here, I'm just gonna take a picture of you wallowing in self-pity so I can move on. But has anyone else ever had those really weird problem-solving dreams before, or am I the only one that's had those?
No, I've had those before. The really weird ones are when you have a dream where you have to solve a problem or come up with something that you've never encountered before in real life. Then you wake up and you remember enough about the dream to be like, is that even really a thing? So you go and look it up, and it is. Those are what weird me out the most.
Fuck it, there's a ghost. There's a apparition in here I could take a picture of, but I don't feel like trying to find it because I don't want the village people to come out of the wall and try to force me into an orgy again.
Which is true. One night during Halloween, me and my friends, I like to call it the roller coaster road. I forgot what the name of the road is, but it's like it's a small road that you take when you're going towards Austin. and it has a lot of hills, and I like to call it the roller coaster road because it's kind of fun to jump it with your car. But one night we were there during Halloween, and we kind of stop next to this old house, and one of my friends kept saying, I'm getting a creepy feeling, and I was like, what do you mean you're getting a creepy feeling? She was like, I feel like something's wrong. And we look outside the car window, and we see this big tree, and we kept looking at the tree, and then all of a sudden we see this body hanging from the tree, and at first we thought that it was a Halloween decoration, but when all of us looked at this body hanging from the tree, we all got the same creepy feeling. We were like, I don't think that's a Halloween decoration. That does kind of look like a dead body hanging from a tree from a noose. And we kept looking at it. We just kept staring at it, and it was moving back and forth. And finally, when we looked back to see if it was still hanging from the tree, we didn't see it there anymore. Like it completely disappeared. Like it wasn't there. And the creepy thing was, my friend calls me the next morning, and she was all like, Woody, there's an actual rope hanging from the tree, and from what I heard from the person that lives in the house, like right next to this tree, he said that people actually hang people from that tree, and that's what creeped me out the most. We were like, we saw a dead body hanging from the tree.
Jeez. I've been fortunate to only ever see one dead body in my life, but at the same time, it was unfortunately my mother's dead body that I saw, and that's something I'll never forget. And I told the story last week about what my dad found in an abandoned building in the middle of the woods. He found a dead guy hanging in the closet.
Like an actual dead body?
Oh yeah, an actual dead body.
Ooh.
I think he was probably like 7 or 8, and he was just out in the woods playing army with his friends. And after they went home, he was wandering around the woods, and he found a cement shack essentially out in the middle of the woods, and that was still standing and still, it wasn't it was just a plain drab gray building. And I think he said that it still had some furniture in it, and it looked like someone had been squatting in there. But they found, or rather, he went in there and he found a dead guy hanging in the closet.
Oh, man, that's creepy. That sounds like something from The Grudge.
Like hanging from the rod that you hang your clothes on. Yeah. Although, when he told me that story, it kind of made me wonder how high up was this curtain, or I'm sorry, not curtain, but how high up was this rod, or, was he really short or something? So, anybody that's in chat right now that wasn't here when we first started talking about it, while we're playing Fatal Frame, we're all just kind of sharing ghost stories, true or made up. And if anybody in chat has a ghost story that they would like to tell, you can either type it in chat, or you can type it and we can get you added to the Discord, and you can tell us your story. Honestly, I've been oh shit! What is that? I've been considering maybe we could even just read some well-known scary stories, like the good old scary stories to tell in the dark. We all remember those, don't we?
Oh yeah,
What makes me
I love those stories.
what makes me mad though is that in the newer revisions of the book, I mean, they finally did the right thing and put it back, but in the new version they took out all the creepy pictures, and I mean, I think we can all agree that the creepy pictures in that book were part of what made it so freaking awesome. Like, because the stories are kind of silly, most of them anyway. But then when they had the those horrifying pictures accompanying them, they were just like, that made them creepy, especially to a young kid. What do you mean, God damn it, Mike? Are you referring to me or talking about my finding my mom's body or something, Alex? Because it looks like you're making a crying face. Uh-oh, there's something in here. Oh, are you fucking serious? To some other place in the photo, but I think this is like the only exit from this room. Ah, shit, that is the only exit from the room. So where am I supposed to go? Like, was there something down here that I was supposed to take a picture of? Because I sure as hell didn't see anything. Anyway. So, like, I remember one of the... I mean, it's a stupid ghost story, because it's funny. Is just about all it is. And I'm sure you've all heard this one, but it was something along the lines of, there's this hotel, and there's one room that nobody will ever check into because it's haunted, and apparently they'll still rent it to you if you're brave. It's just like you're just like, oh well, screw it, I'm a man, I can take it. So you rent the room, and then most of the guests will go in there, and they'll just hear something start moaning, bloody fingers, bloody fingers, and then they'll look up and see this horrifying visage like coming through the closet with like its fingers dripping with blood, and then they just jump out of the bed and just leave their shit behind and run screaming out of the room. And basically this, like, pretty much everyone that ever comes into the room, that happens. And so finally, this rock musician comes to the hotel, and he's like, well, the person that's running the front desk just says, we only have one room left, and I don't think you're gonna like it. And he's like, well, nonsense, what's wrong with it? And they're like, oh well, it's haunted. And he's like, oh, I don't believe in that stuff. Just let me take it. It's fine. So he gets into the room, and he just starts jamming away on his guitar, just like screaming some heavy metal song. And I'm sure that besides just being a nuisance to the people in the rooms next to him, the ghost is probably not amused. So the ghost comes out, and it starts moaning, bloody fingers, bloody fingers, and then it gets closer to him because he still doesn't hear it, because he's just jamming away on his guitar too loud. So it comes closer, bloody fingers, bloody fingers, and then the guy still doesn't hear him. So then the ghost just gets up right in his face and just screams, bloody fingers! And then the guy just looks up from his guitar and says, look, goddammit, I heard you the first 2 times. Go get a Band-Aid or something. Yeah, really, really stupid. But I always thought that story was funny.
Yeah, I thought it would have a joke at the end about his playing the guitar till his fingers bled.
Oh, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
Pick, man.
Okay, so there's nothing here in the basement.
That reminds me of a supposedly true story. I cannot for the life of me remember which musician this was supposed to be. But there was some rock guy who was absolutely famous in the 80s for doing a shitload of heroin.
Like most people in the 80s.
Yeah. And he was being interviewed, and the guy interviewing him, and this is apparently all on camera, but the guy interviewing him says, "Oh, hey, there's a mosquito on your arm." He goes, "Oh, that's cool. Watch this." And he just doesn't move. He lets the mosquito bite him. And after a little bit, the mosquito just drops dead from a heroin overdose.
Oh, man.
So much dope in the bloodstream. It killed the mosquito that bit him.
I mean, that fly must have had an awesome experience before he died.
Oh yeah, that mosquito was high as hell.
That mosquito was high as fuck. I remember in the Boy Scouts, they always used to tell me that if a mosquito was biting your arm, if you clench your fist or something, that it would increase your blood flow, and then the mosquito wouldn't be able to pull out, and he would explode. But clearly, that's bullshit.
Clearly.
Oh yeah, so here's a fun little story for you, and I mean it wasn't fun for me, but I lived it, so you can enjoy it. So, I was never a popular kid, obviously, because I was a nerd, and Boy Scout, no one likes Boy Scouts. Well, your classmates don't. I thought being a Boy Scout was kind of cool for a while until this happened. We went out on a camping trip to Gettysburg. And the people that were in my troop were just like humongous assholes. So we went out on a what they call a snipe hunt, which is basically just the adults' way of sending kids off on a wild goose chase so that they can drink or smoke pot or whatever. So we went out on the snipe hunt, and my fellow Boy Scouts left me out in the woods, and I just kind of froze and got scared, and eventually the troop leaders came out and found me. But man, what assholes. That was a terrifying experience. I think I was like maybe 11 at the time. Oh, that poor lady. She's crushed. Yeah, honestly, I would love to have more paranormal experiences. Like, I'm one of those people that I feel like, even though paranormal experience is certainly a scary thing, and it's something that, one would absolutely be scared to experience. I mean, I'm sure I would absolutely be terrified if I had a truly supernatural experience that I can't explain away with any logic or reason. But I've always been of the belief that something like that would be, to me, probably the most reassuring thing I could ever imagine. Because if you were to see something like that and there was no way to explain it away, then that's pretty much like a guarantee for you right there that there's an afterlife. Like, there would be absolutely no doubt that there's an afterlife if you saw something like that and you were just absolutely unable to explain it.
I've had a few of those experiences, but I'm not going to go into them right now because they're pretty personal.
That's fine.
But personally, I have no doubts.
Well, sure. Everyone has different experiences. I mean, I'm still waiting to have some kind of an experience like that where I can be absolutely sure. I mean, I just I tell myself that there's got to be more to this, because it just seems like it'd be a real awful waste to have all of this, this big universe and all the stuff in it and all the rules that it abides by and stuff, and then have an experience where you just, be born. Oh, I'd love a Twinkie. Where you just, where you're just born, you do a bunch of shit and then you die. Like that, that seems pointless. Oh, look at that. She got scared at the lightning. Ghosts don't scare her, but she gets scared of fucking lightning.
Well, lightning ghost. That's a thing. Apparently.
Was anything different?
Huh? Oh, did you shave your head? Oh, very nice. You should shave it all the way off, though. It's a lot more comfortable that way.
I'm not gonna be bald.
No, be bald. Just do it.
Look like Krillin.
So, Kenneth Kamsey shaved his head, for the most part.
I'm thinking of shaving my head, actually.
Oh, you should. It's super comfortable, especially during the summer. All right, so
Richard, look like Krillin.
just don't die as much.
Alright, you know what? Fine. Let me get some henna tattoos on my forehead.
So, there's I would especially love for you to watch this show, Richard, because I would love to, hear how you feel about it after you watch it. So, on Netflix, and I encourage anybody watching, if you care, to watch this show too. So on Netflix, there's a show that was animated by the Adventure Time guy, and it's called Midnight Gospel.
Oh, I seen that.
And it was fantastic. Like it blew my mind in many ways. And the last episode, like, you have to have no soul to not cry during it. But basically, what it is, it's there's this guy, I can't remember his name, but he has a podcast called The Family Podcast, and he interviews people about things like religion and death, existence, drugs, stuff like that. So basically, Midnight Gospel is the guy from Adventure Time animating the interview, essentially, and it's just always really interesting and sometimes a little bit trippy in a way. But it's such an incredible show. Like it just, there's so many things that I never really thought of before. There are even some religious things they bring up in there, like about Christianity that made me shed a tear, even though I'd probably say I'm more agnostic than I am atheist. But for example, in the second episode, he's interviewing this woman who has just dealt with so much death in her life, and she's talking about how you just kind of have to have a sense of humor about it, and just assume that even though things will end eventually, that everything will be okay. And there's just this one thing she said something along the lines of that if there were just one person left on earth and that person was you, that Christ would die for just you. And that hit me really hard, even though I don't really I believe that a man named Jesus existed, and I absolutely think that he taught people the right thing, but I personally am not of the belief that all of the other stuff. But I'm not going to judge you if you are. I know you are, Richard, for sure, and I respect that. Me personally, I don't know. I would love to have something to believe in, but I feel like I'm going to have to find it on my own. I don't think I'll ever just be able to take anyone's word for it. And by the way, I'm not saying that you haven't either. I'm just, for me personally, I have not had the kind of experiences. Whoa, Type 74 film. I have not had the kind of experiences that you have.
You don't need to qualify it, dude.
Huh?
You don't need to qualify it, dude. It's cool.
I know. Just want to make sure that I'm not being insensitive. What the fuck is that? It's like a light bright. I'm pretty sure that altar it was talking about was in here.
It's a Dickford.
I'm not falling for that. Okay. Clearly there is something in here I need to take a picture of, but I just don't have the right angle. But yeah, I don't remember if you have access to Netflix or not, Richard, but you should absolutely watch it. It was such an interesting show, and the little backstory that it has going on is actually kind of humorous. Some of the animations, and it just made me like just choke laughing. Like there's this one where there's this guy like digging up a grave, and like I guess he got distracted and he accidentally lopped off the corpse's penis and like just threw it over his shoulder with the shovel, instead of dirt. But
Okay.
it's a real interesting show, and actually just kind of like for me, what made me want to watch it was when I heard the plot of the last episode. So I'm going to share that, just to see if that could convince anyone to watch it. But basically, the guy who was doing the interviews, his mother had died from breast cancer. So she, man, where is that altar they're telling me to go look at? Anyway, she had died, I think, like probably 5 years before this show had been done. So the last episode is an interview that the guy did with his mom as she was dying of breast cancer. And some of the insights that she has, being probably days away from death, like they were so incredible and thought-provoking. Like if anything, like I would watch it for even just that episode. And of course, naturally, because I lost my own mother, it absolutely it tore me up pretty bad. What the fuck is this? Oh, frickin' Raiden from Mortal Kombat or something. Oh, Jesus! Could you, like, be visible, please, so that I can, take your picture and, well, end your non-living existence? Come on, where are you? You better not do anything with that stupid fireball bullshit either. It's like I hear you, but I don't see you. Oh, come on, Raiden. Just pop your head out.
I'm going to shoot lightning out of my butthole.
What I need is to get into a bigger room. God, that's such bullshit. Like, I can't even do anything about that. They home in on you. And then the asshole hides inside the walls like... Oh, wait. I was about to make a very inappropriate joke. Can I... Oh, so I can take a picture of the stupid fireballs and waste my film. Like I gotta sit here and waste my film like a kid using his dad's fancy 35mm camera to take pictures of dog turds in the park. Oh, bullshit. I took your picture. I have a clear picture of your armpit. Now I probably have to drink my last 3 gerbil medicines to do anything. Bullshit! Come on! Good lord! It's like the moment I turn around, he's just running at me.
¿Tú quieres paletas?
He's the ghost of one of those train molesters.
What? That's cool.
It's a thing in Japan where people on the subway train molest women.
Sure. What does that have to do with him running?
I'm saying he's the ghost of one of those because that's how much of a dick he is. And he's attacking a schoolgirl. So there you go.
Okay.
He's the ghost of a pervert, sure.
Alright, so just because of this guy alone, I've used up my remaining healing items and most of my film.
That little Japanese girl? Do you like popsicles?
Let's not Elliott jokes. Oh, god damn it. And I don't even know when the last time I saved is. Oh wow, I saved all the way back in the Calamity room. I suppose that's okay, because now I can try to find the atrium before I end up going into the wrong place and having, you know, Raiden from Mortal Kombat's ghost chasing after me and shooting fireballs and not being visible for me to take pictures of. So, all right. Actually,
but
there was some
other true ghost story. This was close to a haunted place in New Braunfels called Indian Hills. I think that's what it was called. But when you go to that road, there's like a little picnic area up on top of a hill, and me and my friends, we stopped at that picnic area. It was during December, so it was cold and it was night, but there was no breeze. It wasn't windy, and it was weird because when we got to that picnic area, I looked at my friend kind of weird, and then I told her, did a little girl and her guardian die in a car wreck up here? And she kind of looked at me like all freaked out, and she was all like, yeah, there's actually a little gravestone behind this little hill close to the gate that has her name on it. And we went to go look at that tombstone, and it was the little girl's tombstone. And so we sat at the picnic area, and my friend was telling me the story about the picnic area. She said that the little girl likes to haunt the picnic area. She likes to play hide and seek. And we were just sitting there in the picnic table, and we kept seeing this little shadow peek out from the trees, kind of like saying, hey, come find me. And we kept seeing her disappear from tree to tree, peeking her head out, looking at us. And then I had a little bouncy ball, and I said out loud, hey little girl, if you want to play with this bouncy ball, all you have to do is just bounce it on the table like this. And I was bouncing the little bouncy ball on the table, and we were walking back to the car, and I left the ball on the table. Like there was no way that this ball could roll off the table, because the table was like perfectly what do you call it, like flat, and there was no way that it would roll. So when we were walking to the car, I started to hear bounce, and I turned around, and I see the bouncy ball bounce on the table once, and it kind of freaked us out. So we stood by the car, and we kept looking at the table. And then the really creepy part was, I saw my friend's necklace levitate, like off her chest. It was floating in midair, like somebody like pulled it up and was holding it up. And then all of a sudden, like the ghost lets go, and the necklace falls back on her chest. And that creeped us out, that we took off.
And then Arnold Schwarzenegger showed up and said, hello, little girl. Look, I have a shiny red ball. You give to me so I can get Turbo Doll.
No.
No one likes
It
Blue
was
Star.
a naked Bill Murray doing the helicopter with his dick. And he yelled, nobody will ever believe you, and ran away.
Gross.
Get out of here, Brewster. Nobody likes you.
Oh, for some reason that ghost didn't want to follow me in here. Oh yes, please give me some Type 14 film.
That ghost was trying to sell you churros.
And yet for some reason me being in the... Oh, so Angela here has a story. So go ahead and type your story out in chat, and I'll have either Woody or Richard read it. I think Richard's got a nice radio voice, so maybe we'll have him do it. It's up to you guys, or whichever one of you wants to do it. Let's see. Oh, so
Yeah, I'm game.
Yeah, so there was a ghost, like not necessarily a ghost story, but just a bit of trivia that I always found kind of, I don't know, macabre and sad. So recently I had gone on I think it's called the Grimm Brothers, the Sisters Grimm ghost tour in San Antonio. It was a really, really fun experience, especially because the last part of it, you get to go to a graveyard at night, the San Antonio National Cemetery, I guess is the name of it. Maybe I'm wrong. But in any case, one of the things that they told us as we were walking through the graveyard at night, they point out some... okay, maybe that's what I needed, was that rope. But they pointed out these little statues. I don't know if you could call them statues, because they were basically little cement trees. And essentially they were just like little saplings that looked like they had grown a little bit and then had the part of the top of it cut off. And they pointed them out and just said that is a child's grave there, and that the tree was supposed to represent their life being cut short. And that always, like, thinking about that makes me really sad.
In Kidamano 555, my uncle was sitting out in the back on their nice patio. He was just relaxing until he saw two red glowing eyes staring at him from the large single tree in their yard. He told me he felt scared and uncomfortable and just sat there staring at it, and the eyes were staring back at him. Maybe like 5 minutes later, it disappeared. Part 1.
It's saying that something in here is it's saying that both doors are sealed and I can't leave. Oh, so the other story that I was thinking of. So a while back, in fact, it was the last time I was on call, so that was probably the truly scary part of the story, was being on call. But we went to the Black Swan Inn because they were doing tours and stuff around Halloween last year, I think it was. So in any case, we got to go in the house and look at it, and that place was super, super creepy. Like, I just walked, like, for the most part, I walked into one of the rooms, and I hadn't been on the tour yet, so, like, nobody had, like, filled my head with any specific stories or what happened in the rooms or whatever. And there's just this one room in the Black Swan Inn that, when I looked inside of it, so it was like a sitting room. It had, like, just really bright red curtains and upholstery on the chair that was in there, and it had these really big mirrors in the room. And I walked in there and I just felt like a chill, and I just felt like something was really wrong with that room. I didn't get any, like, I took pictures when I was there, but I didn't get any interesting, like, pictures or, like, phenomenon to show up. But, like, do you ever just walk into a place and you just, like, something just feels really wrong? Like, that's what it was like. And then when we finally did the tour later, where they walked back through, they mentioned that a woman had been murdered in that room. And I had no prior knowledge of this, so I just thought that was interesting, that just being in there, like, I could feel like something was wrong. The other cool thing too is that they had a, I can't remember what the actual name of it was, but I think a seance room is probably the closest term that I can come up with that would accurately describe it. But essentially, it was just it was like a closet, and in that closet, there were a set of mirrors. Oh shit! It's gonna fucking hit me with the sword. But anyway, there were a bunch of mirrors in that room, and they were set up in such a way that it's supposed to, like, disconnect you from yourself, like, because you're essentially looking down at yourself. So it kind of simulates an out-of-body experience in a way. But it was really, that was super creepy, and the picture I took in there absolutely came out with some really interesting artifacts to it that, like, I mean, I'm not a photographic genius or an expert at any of that stuff, so I'm sure that there's probably logical things that could explain it away. But it was just, it was really a really creepy looking picture. In fact, I still have it somewhere. If I can find it, I'll post it, like, a link to it on YouTube whenever I put this video up.
Richard, do you want to do part 2?
I think that's a good idea. Take turns.
Sure, I'll do part 2. Alright, so part 2. He at first thought he overreacted and tried to research what kind of animals' eyes glow red. They usually get raccoons, squirrels, and cats. According to Google, their eyes only glow green. And when my uncle usually feels uncomfortable, it's usually because something evil is near or about to happen. His gut instincts most of the time are correct. He eventually did spread holy water, but to this day, the eyes never returned.
So obviously not a ghost story, but just like, it's kind of, it was a scary experience, but it was also just kind of funny. And this is something that Richard and I went through together. We originally wanted to go and explore the Pearl Brewery here in Texas, and we ended up going to the Lone Star Brewery instead. And we walked, like, I think we parked at, like, a Whataburger or something, and we walked a long-ass way to try to get to the Lone Star Brewery, and we ended up coming to a fence behind the building, and we were, like, trying to find a way in, and we were even trying to, like basically shake the, like, rock the fence to get it to fall over, because there were parts where it was just about to fall over. And then we walk all the way around the building, and we see, like, the original guard stations and stuff, and I think that's really the only part that we got to see the inside of. We just, saw these 2 abandoned guard things. But then the funny part was we finally walked a little further, and we found, like, I guess the rolling gates where, I guess, trucks would originally go in and out of there. And both of us just kind of start looking for a way in, thinking, like, oh wait, look, there's space under there, we could roll under the gate. And then just as we get down on our hands and knees to roll under the gate, we look over, and there's a fucking security guard sitting right there in a car. So then I just acted like I had dropped something and I was picking it up, and then we just start walking on our way, minding our business. And then all of a sudden, like, the gate opens and he comes out and starts driving. We're like, oh, fuck, he's going to come and, like, question us or call the cops or whatever. And then he just drives by, but holy shit. Remember that, Richard?
What are y'all doing in my Blu-ray, boys?
Yeah.
I was sad we never got to get in there.
Definitely back in our dumber days.
Yeah.
When,
Still would have been fun, though.
oh, whoa, it's abandoned. That means we can go and explore it. And no, it doesn't.
There you go.
What you doing in my Blu-ray?
That would be a good story for you to tell,
boy.
Richard.
What you doing in the basement of my brewery? What's that?
Talk about Sidrich.
Not really any ghost story involved.
Well, no ghost
There is
stories, but the thing that you did to that creepy guy.
Yeah. All right. So when I was in college, there was this homeless guy that kept sneaking onto campus at night and spying on girls in the dorm through the windows. And cops came and arrested him and chased him off several times. And a couple blocks away from campus is the Sidrich dormitory that used to be a dorm for the college, but it was abandoned in the 70s. And it's the tallest building in the county, so nobody wants to knock it down. So just sits abandoned for decades. Well, we went and started exploring it, and there's all kinds of cool stuff. I actually have photos that I took online somewhere. But we get up on like the 10th floor or whatever, and we find signs that somebody's been in here and they've been living in there. Like there's burn marks on the linoleum floor by the elevator shaft where somebody had like a campfire to cook with. And then one of the bedrooms, you go walking in, and somebody had taken the effort to go down to the basement, grab a mattress, and haul it up like 11 flights of stairs and set it up in one of the dorm rooms with some other furniture. And they had blankets and pillows and everything in there. So somebody was living and sleeping in there. But the really creepy shit is this room was completely covered. I mean, all over the floor, all over the bed, on the little table in there, everywhere, with women's shoes. Just a ton of women's shoes. Most of them like high heels and stuff. And it was like, okay, this is like some Silence of the Lambs kind of shit here. And then we, oh, wait a minute, I bet this is where that homeless guy that keeps trying to spy on girls through the windows sleeps. So I pissed in his bed. The end.
Dun 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 dun. Dun. Oh boy, another one of these puzzles.
So, creepy story. Fatal Frame is based on the true story, and I was actually doing research because I wanted to know, hey, Fatal Frame,
Like what parts of it are true?
but the weird thing is, this is an actual haunted village somewhere in Japan. But the creepy thing is, if you ever go to Japan and you try to ask the people there where this village is, nobody's going to tell you. And I couldn't find anything about this village on the internet when I was trying to do some research. Like, there was nothing on the internet about this haunted village. And I also learned that if you do manage to find this village in Japan, nobody has ever returned from this village. People kept disappearing. And the other thing is, if you find the road that goes to this village, there's caution tape, and there's actual security guards guarding that road, letting nobody into that village. And that's like the only thing that I could ever research about this village.
I mean, I'd heard that the true story part of it was just based on the rituals that they did in this game, like the binding and the blinding rituals and stuff like that, the strangling rituals.
Well, Silent Hill is based on the town of Centralia.
Well, I don't know that
the whole town is.
I'm not sure that the game was. I know the movie was, absolutely.
Oh, the movie, yes. I think they later adapted it for later games, but not in the original. But Centralia has underground coal fires burning, and nearly, but not quite, everybody has been evacuated from the town. There's like one or two people that still live there.
My ass is
kind of like in
evacuated.
Chernobyl. There's still people living in there that never left.
My ass has been evacuated several times during the playing of this game. How about that? Of course, this puzzle isn't spooky, it's just annoying. I've been able to get through most of these things myself, but this is one where I actually just kind of want to give up and just let YouTube show me the answer. So I gotta get that one down there. So I need to move this one here. I need to move this one here, then this one here. Oh, actually, I think... Is that it? No, it's not. Oh, there. There I did, all by myself. Hooray. Oh, man, we're hemorrhaging viewers. Wondering... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It says we only have 4 viewers, but yet it says that there's like 6 viewers in chat, including this Apollo Games Dark 88. I haven't seen him before. If you're there, Apollo, I would love to hear a ghost story from you if you have one. Like, I guess while I'm waiting on that, I would like to kind of talk about, like, as far as what I think makes good horror. And I'd like to pick your guys' brain, too, just to see what your thoughts are. But to me, I've never been a really big fan of the way that we do horror here in the States. Because a lot of our movies are just... it's nothing but jump scares. And I think that pretty much anyone could potentially make a good jump scare. Ah! Like that. Sorry, I'm sure that probably didn't scare anyone. But, like, anyone can do that. Like, a toddler can do that. And just the fact that in, like, modern horror, like, we have this music that they always use in the movies that just kind of ramps you up and gets you ready for, to be scared. Like, it's just someone playing a violin, and it's just slowly growing to a crescendo, and you're just like, okay, any second now, I know something's going to jump out because that's, what the music has trained me to expect. And I hate that because, first of all, you actually want to be surprised. You don't want to just, oh, I already took a picture. Let's take a picture again. Ah, shit, I used my good film. Great, I don't know where that is. But yeah, like it's such a lazy horror tactic. What I really think is awesome when it comes to like making a good horror movie is I think that the more you gotta be more subtle than that. You gotta like make people scared with ambience and with like some neat tricks. Like for example, like in David Lynch films, for example, he does things like having shadows that are facing the wrong direction, like they're facing towards towards the light source instead of away from it. So it's like it just kind of makes your brain notices it and it makes it uneasy, but you're not sure why. Stuff like that. But then besides that, just the like I said, the subtle things, like in a lot of Asian horror movies, it's very rare that you ever have these fucking ghost fire again. But you have like just these really, really subtle things that they do, like in the movie The Eye, which was actually a Chinese horror movie. Basically, the plot of the movie is just that this girl who's blind gets the eyes of some girl who died, and so she starts seeing ghosts. But the creepy part of it is not necessarily like the scenes where we know that there's a ghost in frame. It's always like in the frames where it's like just her, for example, sitting on a subway or something, and you see like a reflection of like something horrifying in the window of the train. And the thing is that the person with the camera who's like shooting the shot isn't calling particular attention to it. The movie doesn't direct your attention to it and start like playing scary music. It's just there and you see it and you're like, fuck, why, how does she not notice this? Or is she just not, like, is she numb to it now? So like stuff like that I think is really cool when it comes to horror. Or you just have like the horror of like stuff that just shouldn't exist, or things that are just beyond our understanding, like cosmic horror, eldritch horror, like you have in H.P. Lovecraft, where like it's not really a fear that you can really define. It's just this hopeless feeling of discovering something you can't unlearn, and discovering something that's just bigger than anything that you've ever known. Like basically something that shocks you to your core and makes you realize everything you've ever learned your whole life was wrong. And then of course there's something I've always referred to as spatial horror. Essentially, like if you have like the book House of Leaves, or the movie Grave Encounters, or even like you think about Doctor Who's police box,
the TARDIS. Uh-huh.
Yeah, the TARDIS. So basically these things where you have what is referred to as non-Euclidean geometry. Basically you have like spaces that are bigger on the inside than they are on the outside, or things that like change, like you turn around, and like Silent Hill's an excellent example of this. Like you go into a room and you turn around to leave, and there's like the door that you came in is gone, or you turn around and you're in a completely different place. Or another good example is in Stephen King's short story Room 1408, in the movie, like just those things where like like he thinks that he's in the. That's such bullshit. Where he thinks that he's through, and then it turns out he's still stuck in the room. Like that sort of stuff scares the shit out of me in movies. And this guy's an asshole.
We got people, mostly me, posting in chat about different horror stories and movies that they like. And I mentioned The Willows, which is a short story by Algernon Blackwood that very heavily inspired H.P. Lovecraft.
Interesting.
He does a amazingly effective job of creating this feeling of isolation, and even though it's a completely mundane location, just this little wooded island in the middle of the river, it's so alien and creepy that it's very effective at making you feel disturbed. And then, of course, there's movies like Alien, The Thing, Evil Dead. One of my favorites that probably nobody's ever heard of is the original McPherson tape, which is a alien abduction movie from the late 80s. UPN did a remake of it in the 90s that had better special effects, but much worse storytelling. But the thing with the McPherson tape is it's one of the very first found footage movies ever made. This was like more than a decade before The Blair Witch. It was a believable movie. The guy's filming for a reason. It's, Thanksgiving dinner with the family and his 5-year-old niece's birthday. And in the late 80s, video cameras were a big deal. So, of course, he's going to be playing around with the camera, and then once the aliens show up, he's recording just because nobody's ever going to believe this if I don't film it. But the special effects are almost non-existent. The aliens are effective because you very rarely see anything more than a glimpse of them. When they are on screen, they look awful. You can tell it's just kids wearing costumes. But the real... what makes it an effective movie is it seems like these are real people in a real situation, not actors playing a story. They do an incredibly good job of it. It's like you watch it and it's like, oh yeah, this is basically any of the family home videos that anybody who grew up in the 80s and 90s watched. Oh yeah, this is exactly the same as the home videos we recorded at, like, visiting family, etc. And that makes it more real,
Yeah. I've always really liked those types of stories where where it's I guess for the lack of a better description, I really like the found footage style stories. Because I feel like they just have a level of authenticity that you don't often see.
Woody, have you ever watched the Wreck series?
Oh man, those are great.
What series?
Rec. REC.
It's short for record because it's REC. The little thing saying, "Oh yeah, your camera's recording."
I don't think I ever. I think I seen the first one
where they're trapped in the apartment building with the zombies and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are Spanish movies, and they are incredibly well done. The American knockoff Quarantine wasn't anywhere near as good.
It wasn't bad either, though.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't anywhere near as good. Wreck is just awesome, and without spoiling anything that's going on, if you haven't seen Wreck, the first movie, it's a late night TV crew doing an interview with the local fire department, and they go out on a call and end up in the apartment building just in time for the police to lock down and quarantine the entire building. Anybody that leaves is going to get shot on sight, and they're trying to figure out what's going on, why they're not allowed out, how to get out. And then they discover that there's something really bad going on, and they have to try and survive and escape. And the second movie is also really good, and it picks up right after the ending of the first movie and follows the SWAT team going into the apartment building.
There was a part 3 too, actually.
The third movie just wasn't anywhere near as good, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely not.
But the first two were really awesome.
The director of Wreck actually made another movie entirely.
Really?
Yeah, I can't believe I can't remember what the name of it. It was a girl's name. It could have been like I'll have to look it up. But basically, it's just about this girl who starts playing with Ouija boards and stuff, and she gets possessed and like kills her family.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, I can't remember the name off the top of my head though. So this game is actually starting to piss me off more than it's scaring me anymore, which is making me feel like I'm almost ready to stop. It's just really fucking annoying. Like that ghost will not, like, it doesn't show its face until it's like right on top of you, and all the while it's shooting fireballs at you and that you have to take a picture of to make them go away. And I'm willing to bet that, yep, I didn't save, so now I'm stuck. I'm gonna have to do that stupid puzzle again. I'm gonna have to go do the room with the ropes again, and I'm gonna have to fight that other ghost again. All because that stupid Raiden ghost just has to show up to everything to fucking ruin it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to stay up because I'm not exactly feeling well.
Yeah,
So
I have a release that I have to attend to tonight. And even though I've been told that, like, it's generally a better idea to finish whatever it is you start streaming, like, I don't feel like, at this point I don't feel like I care enough about this game because all it's doing is pissing me off now. Like, it used to be scary, and now it's just making me enraged.
Richard, I don't know if you saw this movie on Netflix, but it's a Spanish scary movie, and it was actually really creepy. It was about these, I guess they were reporters or ghost hunters or something. I don't remember. It was on Netflix a long time ago, but they visit a haunted asylum in Mexico, dude. It was creepy.
It almost sounds like Grave Encounters, but
I
Grave
was gonna
Encounters
say.
wasn't in Mexico.
yeah, but they
That-
did have a Mexican gardener.
That
Yeah,
The first ones, it was scary.
Oh yeah. That one series of movies, the VHS movies, were really scary in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Those were super well done. I would love to. I actually would love to sit and watch all of those again. All right. So after I deal with this asshole, I absolutely need to go save. Oh yeah, for sure. Especially once this stupid pandemic is over. I'm using the good film on this guy because I just don't feel like fucking with him anymore. Shit.
You know what other scary movie was actually kind of good, and it's kind of old now, but you remember the scary movie Phantasm?
Oh, of course. It's one of my favorites.
Oh my god, I want to find the collection. I want the
He
collection.
has the collection.
I have it.
Ugh.
Although, in my opinion, I think that boy. In my opinion, only the. I'll probably catch flack for this. In my opinion, only the first two movies were like really super good. Like those are my favorites.
I do agree.
And plus, like, so Don Coscarelli, like, I love you, man. You're an amazing director. Loved John Dies at the End, but like the Phantasm 5 Ravager was just a huge letdown. But at the same time, I guess I can't really blame him because tall man Angus Scrimm passed away during the filming of the movie, so I imagine that they just had to make some choices,
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of people who have passed away, well, it's not really a person, but I don't know if you guys remember. There was this cat video like back in the early 2000s about this cat named Sparta, and there's this song called the Mean Kitty song. So like he was just one of like the early cat memes, I guess, of the early 2000s. Apparently that cat just died like a month ago.
Oh dang.
I don't know if anybody is familiar or if anyone was remotely familiar with what I was talking about, but it kind of caught me off guard today. It made me sad because that was a cute little video.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
It was a funny song too because it's like part of the song he's like trying to sneak up on his cat to catch him, and he's just singing about how he's gonna sneak up on him and catch him before he can blink, and then he's like, "Oh man, he's asleep in the sink," and he's just in the bathroom, and the cat's just laying there in the sink.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So R.I.P. Sparta from God, I think like 2006, maybe 2007 on up to just a month ago.
Who did the video? Was it James at War or who was that?
I can't remember. But poor kitty. I'm not really a huge fan of cats, but whenever an animal dies, I feel bad about it. I probably think more of dogs and cats than I do of people most of the time.
This is true of many people.
Yeah, like if a cat or a dog or a kid dies, it's a tragedy. But not automatically so when an adult does so, especially when it's because they did something stupid. 'Cause, I mean, otherwise, Darwin Awards wouldn't be funny.
Does anybody remember that scary Japanese movie called House?
House?
House.
I don't remember that one. Oh, Zappa's here. Hey, Zappa.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Great. Now I have to try to remember how I did this. God damn it. I really didn't want to make anyone have to watch this dumb shit again. I'm not going to struggle my way through this and hope that I can do it again. But I can't.
I think it was this one. Let me see.
I mean, I could always. Oh wait, no, I can't rewind the stream. Damn it! I was gonna cheat. Oh shit. I think. Because if I move, because the big difficulty here is trying to get that one at the bottom over there, because first I need to get that one out of the way so I can move that up and over.
What if you unlock it and it unlocks a giant chalupa?
Well, I mean, I was in that room already. I can assure you there wasn't a giant chalupa. So I also need to get this one moved over. So I need to probably, because if I move this here, I can ultimately move it there, but then I need to get that one out of the way. But I need to be moving them towards like where they ultimately need to go, otherwise I'm just, wasting my time. So if I put this one here, and this one here, and then maybe this one here, I can put this guy where he's supposed to go.
The Japanese version of the Grudge was kind of creepy.
Oh yeah, for sure. Ah shit, I fucked up. Because I gotta get that up there. And then those two have to switch places, so there's no way that's gonna work. Man.
Hey Sapa, since you're here, tell us ghost stories, Sapa.
Yeah, surely you must have at least one ghost story. So starting that way didn't do me any good. I mean, it might pay to try that route one more time. So if I could get this one over there, I could get it into position to move into that one. But the only way to do that is to move this one. So then I can move that, move that. Fuck, this isn't gonna work. I don't think. That's already in the right place. So I need to maybe get this one. If I move this here, I can move this one here. I can move this one here.
Well, I think I'm gonna call it a night.
Alright, Richard. Have a good night.
Night, Richard.
Opposite of day, Richard. So if I move that one there, because ultimately I need to get that one up there. So maybe if I move this one here and that one there, move that. Fuck. It was all because of that stupid ghost spitting fire. Fuck it. I already did it once. I'm not doing it again. Fatal. And then I need to make sure to run for a save spot before I do anything from here. So save spot. I think it's called the T carving puzzle. Go with this walkthrough. God, I forgot how much GameFAQs sucks. I should probably call it soon anyway, because I have to get off and go do a release for work.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does, but, you know, what can you do? Fail frame, fail frame, fail frame. Damn it. Of course there's no like, there's no easy to find guide on how to do this.
So, Michael, did you pick up your copy of Paper Mario?
I did. I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
It's a me, Mom, and I'm gonna sell you Channel Bus.
I've been told that some people aren't liking it. Like they're saying that Nintendo doesn't know how to tell a good story anymore. Which I think is quite false. Alright, so literally that's all I can do with that. Fuck. God damn it. Alright, I'm gonna end the stream here because I don't want to force anybody to watch this stupid puzzle that I'm gonna take forever to figure out again. So I'm just gonna end the stream here. I'm gonna solve the puzzle. I'm gonna save, and then, you know, depending on how I feel about this game next Friday, we'll continue it. Otherwise, I'll start something else. Because I'm not really feeling this game anymore. That particular ghost that just is being a real pain in the ass just seems kind of bullshit. Although in a way I'd love to get back to him so I could show Zappa what bullshit Raiden Ghost is. So anyway, for everyone that came and watched, thank you for coming. Sorry that this is a shorter stream than usual. On Wednesday, we'll have a much longer stream when we stream Jet Set Radio Future, because that game is super fun and it's got zero bullshit. So, hope to see many of you there. So, peace out, guys, and have a good weekend.
Night, night.
Night.